Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor back in Arnheim, and now that we have helped all the villagers, it seems Garsind will finally agree to help us.
You have helped my people, so I will give you the information you seek.
Thank you. The dwarf ruin the elf speaks of must be Shatur-munzu. It lies to the west. To find it, you must cross the territory of the Shadow Hunter. No one has seen his true form and lived. The few that have returned to us say he is a shadow itself, slinking among the trees. They describe huge glinting fangs and glowing eyes, and his children stalk the woods as well. Terrible demons all. I understand the elf's mission, but be warned, you continue at your own peril.
Demons indeed. Superstitions will get us nowhere.
Perhaps the dwarf ruin is inhabited by orcs or the like, but it will not sway me from my charge. Prepare yourself, we will be heading west at once.
Finish any other business you have in the village. Then we will head into the forest to find Shatur-munzu.
Let us see if these demons are real. Sure. So, I will be talking to you again. If we are traveling together once again, yeah. A picture of you and Garsind. Once again, not every day you see a house Carl of Arwen, so gotta take as many pictures as you need.
Whenever you are ready.
Whenever I'm ready, let's go! The path west of Arnheim. So, this one you mean? Or maybe not? Ah, this one. Right next to the stable master. There are orcs nearby. That's so cool. The weapon aura. You don't even need to look at a map when you have it. You have found a cart sitting by itself in the road. What do you think, Baradal?
This cart is mostly empty and misses both horse and owner. Someone may have headed toward Shatur-munzu in search of dwarf gold.
These tracks seem fairly recent. Perhaps the ones who made them are still alive. We should get into the forest and search for them. Into the forest? But we were already there. Why into the forest? Why? Yeah, stay close, Baradal. You're making me go into the forest when we are almost there? You stay close. This must be all that remains of the man you sought. Oh, no.
We found him too late. Unfortunate, but he did not heed the warnings of the villagers.
I have heard many tales of greed twist in the hearts of men. She realizes she has accidentally insulted you again and blushes. She quickly changes the subject. There must be some evidence nearby as to the identity of the demon who did this, and perhaps the horse who pulled the cart is still alive. I don't think so. I don't have high hopes for the horse. Ah! Oh my god, it's still alive! The horse is startled and runs deeper into the forest. Ah, we frightened it. We must find it again. It is not safe out there. Well? Horsey. Oh. The horse has been killed. That's not fair. Giving us hopes for the horse only to kill it.
We are not alone out here. Be on guard.
Baradal is lightly shaken by the sudden death of the horse. We are not alone out here. There are deep claw marks in its hide. Be on guard. The poor horse. He loyally followed his master into danger and met an undeserved fate. Wait, look at these tracks. I believe the demons feared by the woodmen are simply wargs. We are more than capable of handling this threat. We should proceed to Shatur-munzu at once. Yeah, we were already there. I mean, yeah, helping the horse and the rider, it's the noble deed, but we are already there. There was no need of taking the detour. Well, I'm rambling already. Completed enemies of the Vales. Baradal pauses, alarmed by something ahead. Yeah, but first, we got this deed. So you have the title Warrior of the Wilderfolk. Confidence is now level 63. You have explored the Vales of Anduin in great detail. And 5 LOTRO points. Okay.
The size of this paw print is rather alarming. Was this left by the Shadow Hunter?
Weapons at the ready, Beriathan. Oh yeah, take a look at the size of this thing. Yeah, it's the same size as us. Oh, come on.
This must be Shatur-munzu. We know not what lies inside, but it is my charge to clear it of anyone or anything that would bring harm to Lady Arwen.
When you are ready, we will enter.
Wait, do you hear that?
What?
The time has come to enter the dwarf ruin of Shatur-munzu. The woodmen warned us of demons and the Shadow Hunter, but I remain unconvinced. Whatever lies inside, we are capable of defeating it.
Something is approaching. I can hear it in the brush. Soft paws and a low growl. It is moving quickly towards us. Look out!
Warg, are you the one known as the Shadow Hunter? I have been charged with clearing this ruin of evil in the name of Lady Arwen. Leave now or you will be dispatched. You enter my territory and threaten me, little elf. I am Ránulur, chieftain of Orcs. You will be food for my pack. You will fall by my blade, fiend. No! You wake up in a cage inside what must be Shatur-munzu. Oh, big strong man. Your strength will feed the pack now. Dumb man, I bet you're not so tough. The orc jailer crumples to the ground. The key to your cage is in reach. Are you taking me out of the instance? Do I need to leave out? For God's sake, please tell me what to do. I mean, if I leave the instance through this option, I don't think that's gonna work. Grab this in the meantime. Destroy all this other stuff. Oh, come on. I'll try. There doesn't seem to be anything else we can do. Yeah, okay, no, it worked. It's great. You find yourself in a den of wargs and orc kind. Baradal is nowhere to be seen, and it is very likely she is in grave danger. You should make your way through Shatur-munzu and find her before it is too late. Be wary. Ránulur, the warg chieftain, or the Shadow Hunter as he is known to the locals, may still be near. You see orcs and goblins inside Shatur-munzu, but unlike their usual relationship, these appear to be subservient to the wargs. Perhaps it is because of the presence of Ránulur. You believe that you should eliminate these goblins, regardless of the chain of command, as they pose a threat to the people of Arnheim. Now that you have seen what lies inside Shatur-munzu, you feel it is your responsibility to deal with the warg threat as much as you are able. You should defeat as many wargs as possible in the wilds of Duskenvale and Shatur-munzu. Yeah, that should be good enough. Now, quickly, before we proceed, Ránulur, which is this warg chieftain, he was briefly mentioned when we were fighting the goblins in Hultvís, when the great goblin was hiding inside that cave. He mentioned Ránulur as siding with the hobgoblins of Gundabad. Now we have met Ránulur, but well, I guess we'll see when we get there. We will all see. And sack of woodman belongings. What's this? The belongings of the victims of the wargs can be found scattered in Shatur-munzu. You believe the people of Arnheim would be grateful to have them back. Okay. Now, Shatur-munzu is also the location of one of the dailies for the Wilderfolk. So it's good getting acquainted with the lay of the land in here, as if you wanna do everything there's to do in this place, in the Vales of Anduin I mean, you will be coming back to Shatur-munzu plenty of times. You have defeated many of the orcs and goblins subservient to Ránulur's warg pack. This should make them less of a threat to the people of the Vales, and make a dent in the clearing of Shatur-munzu. Okay. Maybe I'm trying to chew more than I can. Oh, so close. Please snap out of it. Yeah. For God's sake. Be done with the lag. The worst place to be having lag right now. Okay, ready to move on. Although, yeah, there are no stolen supplies in here. Yeah, you wanna sneak on me? Think again. Not taking me. Oh. You have done much to cleanse Duskenvale of the warg menace. The peoples of the Vales are safer for your action. Yeah, but there's still a lot of things I need to do. I still need to find Baradal, I still need to recover more stolen supplies. I don't remember exactly where Baradal is. But I have a good idea of where she is most likely to be. Again, getting acquainted with this map does help a lot. Three more sacks. That's all we're needing now. Oh. Ah, come on. There was a ninth one over here. Okay. Oh, that was awesome. Walk to Garsind. Okay. Now, this is the old throne room of this dwarven fortress, and when you are doing the daily, the instance version of this, that's where the boss is usually located. Well, not usually, that's where the boss is always located. So the question is, now, if Baradal is gonna be there as well, if Ránulur is gonna be there as well, well, Baradal is in here, at least. So we were on the right track. Oh, here we have just pack leaders and the like.
Where am I?
Baradal is really conscious. She stirs as you approach. Beriathan? Where am I? She is still dazed from the warg attack. You should find a way to get her out of this cage before Ránulur returns. The lock resists your attempts. It seems this lock is too sturdy to be opened by force. You will need to find a key. It is probably being carried by an orc or goblin somewhere inside Shatur-munzu. And just now you're telling me this. Just now. Just now, I mean. I most likely have already fought the jailer. And missed it. Come on. Orc jailer. Oh, Jesus. That is supposed to be the exit, if I remember correctly. Ah, Orc jailer. Thank you. Thank you. This key looks like it may open the lock on Baradal's cage. The lock springs open, praying Baradal.
I think I'm recovering my senses. What has happened? I can recall little, but I do remember the massive warg attacking us. It dragged me by the leg.
Baradal seems steady, but you can tell she is upset and attempting to suppress her emotions. I can recall little, but I do remember the massive warg attacking us. It dragged me by the leg. I am not sure I can walk or be of much use in a fight. Forgive me, Beriathan. I let my guard down and now we are in grave danger. We'll find a way out.
I can hear the warg chieftain approaching. He is close. Prepare yourself.
We'll not get...
Despite our efforts, evil still lingers in the world. It has crawled into dark corners and deep places to hide from the light. I will not allow it to threaten one of our own. It will not hide from me anymore.
This sounds so great. Yeah, I'm not gonna get Ránulur get the best of me this time. It's not gonna surprise us now. Rest assured. So, let us go.
He's coming. I am injured, but I will do what I can. Stand behind me.
Oh, you stand behind me. The pigs have escaped their pens. No matter, I can butcher you now. You will not harm them. Brave little soldier, you can barely stand and yet you move to protect. Why even bother? Because I must. So be it. Whoa, 5 million morale. Alright, I'll do something.
Listen and Valaron, Terenia, Ana Inaxa Sinume.
What is this? Lady Galadriel. Chieftain of Orcs, I banish you from this place. What have you done, witch? It burns! Ránulur howls in pain and retreats. He is gone. Lady Galadriel, what have you done to him? I have prevented him from ever again harming those who walk in the sun's light. Rest, child, you are safe now. Galadriel, bring Lady Arwen. Baradal, are you injured? Yes, but it is not serious. Do not worry for me, Lady Arwen. Of course I worry for you. You are my dear friend. Father, will you tend to her wounds? Come, Arwen. We have come to this dark place for a reason. You are right, grandmother. Oh, right. This is the place. She was here. Her presence lingers, though she be gone. Ah, mother, you are in so much pain. Such pain that she could no longer bear to live in this Middle Earth. I felt great relief when your brothers finally found her. Alas, while Elrond healed the wound of her body, some injuries could not be cured. She came back to us changed. All the happiness in her life had gone. The knowledge of such evil existing in the world wounded her more than any blade. Watching her sail into the setting sun was bittersweet. I knew she would find happiness in the Undying Lands, and I still believed I would see her again. Now, I am heartbroken. To be mortal means to carry the burden of loss. Not just of your own life, but your loved ones' lives as well. You are one of the few to make this choice willingly. Do you resent me for this choice, grandmother? No, Arwen. I find your courage beyond compare. I would brave any peril for him. Goodbye, Mother. I regret that we did not have more time together. Poor Arwen. Yeah, in the middle of the captivity and Ránulur and everything, I have forgotten the purpose of our visit here. Well, it's the only way in which Arwen can say goodbye, it seems. Well, at least we accomplished our goal, Baradal, so... be at ease. Being in this place rekindles the pain I felt at my wife's departure, but I will see Celebrían again in the Undying Lands. Arwen will not. I hope this has brought her some peace. She follows in my brother's footsteps for the love of one of his line. My heart breaks and wells with pride all at once. I must thank you for the part you played in this, Beriathan. We were unaware such a powerful foe resided in these ruins, and Baradal might have perished had you not been here. Arwen would have blamed herself had that happened. Baradal has been eager to prove herself. I fear she will consider this incident a failure and lose faith in her abilities. Many of those in her position would have seen their valor fail. Reassure her of that if you can. She is dear to our family, and I do not wish her to be mired in self-doubt. I believe we are done here. Let us find a place to heal Baradal's injuries. Come, let us be on our way. Where will you take us? Glandir. Okay. That works.
This is where we part ways, friend. I will rest and heal in Paris Galadon until I am ready for travel.
Baradal looks at you dejectedly. You believe Elrond was correct. She is disheartened to have nearly failed in her mission. This is where we part ways, Beriathan. I will rest and heal in Paris Galadon until I am ready for travel. If all goes well, I will have recovered enough to continue to Minas Tirith with a wedding party. You try to assuage her fears by saying some kind words. You also tell her you believe that few others would have survived the encounter with Ránulur. Her expression brightens slightly. Perhaps you are right. The power of Lady Galadriel herself was required to turn the beast. Lady Arwen's family has done so much for me, so I feel I must do the best I can in my service to them. Yet I am still young and have experienced little combat against real foes. My abilities will improve with time. Before you leave, I have something else to say. I was raised on the stories of the men of the past. Lord Elrond has told me many tales of both their valor and more frequently their corruption. They may have clouded my perceptions of your people. You are the first man with whom I have spent any length of time. After knowing you and seeing your heroism in the face of overwhelming evil, I feel I have much more to learn. I sincerely apologize. I am glad to have finally met you, Beriathan. We will meet again. Of that, I am sure. And whenever an NPC promises that, you can be sure that's gonna happen. Okay. I don't know if we're gonna use this bracelet, but let's take it. So, we have completed the approach at dawn, and with this, we have also completed the deed quests of the Wilderfolk, and opened a new deed as well, quests of the Vales of Anduin. So, currency capped, oh my god, yeah, we have a cap on gold marks. Jeez. So, we have here Hero of the Vales, some virtue XP, confidence is level 64 now. And let us check this title. You have aided the Wilderfolk. And now we need to complete Caretaker of Rosgobel and Protectors of the Wilderfolk both. This is capped and 5 LOTRO points. The Wilderfolk of the Vales are composed of Yordings, Woodmen and Elves, and all must work together if they are to make safe the lands they share. Representatives of these peoples have gathered in Hultvís, intending to work together to protect the Vales of Anduin. You should seek out Outback, Hithril and Ragnhild and offer them your assistance. Yeah, that's the next step in our quests. I actually think we can go there. What do we do? Heavy Vales artifact. Well, let me take that first. This is the path that will eventually lead to Lórien. Horse to Arnheim. Okay, we have a horse to Arnheim. Yeah, I just remember we need to go back to Garsind and turn in the quest with her. But we can also check the path that leads from the Vales to Lothlórien. A message from Rosgobel. Radagast has called upon you to visit his home of Rosgobel. While it is not certain what matters currently trouble Radagast, it is not often that he directly seeks you out for assistance. Whatever the matter may be, it is surely to be important. You should seek travel to Rosgobel as soon as you are able. Yeah, I think we can do a couple of those quests. Here, you will see the path to Lórien. We are already the Golden Wood. I mean, there's not much to see here other than how these areas connect together, and maybe if there is an NPC preventing you from coming here, like what happens with the border with the Misty Mountains. It seems there isn't, so you gotta be careful. That path to the north will also lead to Duskenvale. So I have a question now, a big question now. Do we pursue the Black Book of Mordor? Or do we do the dailies? And maybe we can do both, but not in one episode. No, I don't think so. We're gonna go back to Glandir, actually. There is a swift horse to Arnheim. We're gonna take advantage of that. Now we talk to Garsind. Another picture of Inglefeld and Nuffer, the light of day. Okay, so
An ill wind troubles the river.
I recognize many of these items, Beriathan. Some from unwary hunters, some from treasure seekers, some from valiant fools seeking to end the threat. This one. She opens one of the satchels and pulls out a battered cloth doll. This belonged to my son's daughter. She slipped away one evening and was lost to the forest. He knew her lost and went seeking vengeance against the Shadow Hunter, but this tragedy would never befall anyone else. He was never seen again, leaving 2 more children fatherless. This place has known so much grief it has become a part of the very earth. Everyone living in Arnheim has lost someone. We carry on the best we can despite the sorrows. You have done us a great service by bringing back these mementos. You have my thanks, Beriathan. Who are those children? I'm so sorry for your loss, Garsind. Ah yeah, we need to spend some gold marks. Let us check the barterer really quick and see if there's anything of use we can get. I don't think so, but who knows?
Hear tell of great deeds from far away, but danger is always near.
Scroll of Beorn's Guard. Ah, okay. We can take that one. We have Ikran of the Great Goblin. Well, some cloaks. Tales of Anduin teams. Gear. Seems like is what we can get from this place. But we need a higher standing. We need to reach kindred to be able to barter for them, so... nothing else we can take in the meantime. Shame. Beeswax candle. That's a decoration. Purple chimes. Well, some chimes. Runestone of the Vales. Beehive. Some housing ambience. Wall-mounted great axe, hammer, halberd, mace, spear, staff, greatsword, sword. Well, that sounds nice. Yeah, maybe someday I'll get those housing items. Resolution damage. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay with what I have equipped. So, time is running short. I think we can travel to Blomgard.
We do not fear the darkness, and we never will.
Let's see what else can we do with the Black Book. No. Gandalf looks around at the countryside with satisfaction. Yes. That's what I was trying to do.
Isildur rode from Minas Tirith with a small company, including his 3 eldest sons.
Following the river Anduin northward, he planned to cross the Misty Mountains where he would be reunited with his youngest son, Valandil. Being but a child and too young for war, Valandil had remained behind in the safety of Rivendell, and it was for that hidden valley that Isildur intended to ride. But the ring he bore was no mere trinket. Already it yearned to return to its master. It would prove Isildur's undoing. Look around us, Beriathan. More than 3,000 years have passed since Isildur came this way, but the shape of the land has changed little. This is what he would have seen as he rode, in the company of his sons and his men-at-arms, little suspecting the danger the ring would draw. Despite the warmth of springtime, you feel a chill in the air.
The war of the last alliance had ended in victory. Did that success blind Isildur and his men?
Did they think the shadow was gone forever and dark things could trouble them no more? I do not know for certain. They lived in fear of Sauron's evil for so long that it seems to me they may have met his defeat with doubt that it would last. Whether they did or did not, it is true that dark things abided still in Middle-earth. The Orcs of Wilderland lay in wait, lurking within the shadows of Mirkwood. Perhaps they heard rumor of Isildur's approach, or perhaps the ring called out to them. Let us continue up the road, Beriathan. We walk in the footsteps of Isildur's company, even 3,000 years later. We'll be going to Rosgobel, maybe later. Maybe later, yeah. Alright, Gandalf is almost here. Please don't attack me, I don't have anything against you. Gandalf indicates that he wishes to stop here beside the road.
The Orcs struck as Isildur's company crossed near to the Gladden Fields.
Whether they were alerted by the presence of the ring or not, the Orcs struck as Isildur's company crossed near to the Gladden Fields. The attack came in darkness, with neither sun nor moon in the sky, and in that blackness the Orcs had the greatest advantage. Look around us, Beriathan. Isildur and his men were unfamiliar with the lay of the land, but their foes ranged it for years, plundering the towns and villages of Wilderland. Yeah, look around, I will, even though it is 3. Doesn't give you the best of looks, but oh well. Yeah, I hope you don't mind, Gandalf. I just gonna take a look at the Gladden Fields from up here. That's Sharky's Low, and close to Sharky's Low is where we'll find the last page of the Tale of Old Mad Up, but not yet. Sorry, Gandalf. You were saying, as you survey the terrain, you can almost hear the harsh war cries of the orcs.
The orcs descended upon Isildur's band with ravenous fury.
Buoyed by their advantage in the darkness, the orcs descended upon Isildur's band with ravenous fury. Even so, it was a hard fight. The men of Gondor were strong and valiant, and they had much skill at arms. Do not forget that they were survivors of the Great War against Mordor, and years of battle had hardened their courage and their resolve. But the orcs were many, and they were treacherous foes, prone to trickery. Their warriors practiced the arts not just of combat, but of deception. The battle that followed was brutal, and blood soaked his heels. Onward, Beriathan, the end of the story draws near. It lies to the northwest. Climb down the slope to the bank of the river, and meet me further north. Alright, so climb down the slope. And north, you mean right by this big tree? No treasure caches. Yeah. Gandalf motions for you to stop.
Isildur pressed north, harried by his enemies, but he did not make it far.
The orcs proved relentless, and for everyone the Dunedain killed, 2 more leapt forward in its stead. Soon the dwindling company could go no further, and Isildur knew there could be no escape. He watched as his knights, his captains, and even his own sons fell in the affray. Look around as he did, Beriathan, and imagine the encircling hordes drawing ever nearer. What did Isildur feel as the battle turned against him?
Of his men, only 3 survived. One of these was Ulftar, Isildur's own esquire.
With whom the doomed king entrusted the shards of Narsil. He bade Othar bring their broken blade to Rivendell. Did the squire obey his lord's command without complaint, or did he wish to stand by his king and die with him? We do not know for certain. What we do know is that Othar managed to slip away during the confusion of battle, and after much toil and danger in the wilderness, he came to Rivendell safely bearing the shards of Narsil. They became an heirloom of Isildur's line ever after, in Arnor and laden among the rangers in the wild. Our account of Isildur ends with the departure of Othar. The squire believed Isildur fought on, even without hope of victory, but for long years even the wise did not know.
For many years following the disaster of the Gladden Fields, none knew what became of Isildur.
Most believed he perished in the ambush shortly after Othar escaped with the shard of Narsil, for there was no further word of the king. His body was never found, and there was no claim for ransom by the orcs or their masters. But in time, the wise learned his true fate. After sending Othar away, Isildur saw but one hope for his survival. Refusing to allow the ring to fall back into the hands of the enemy, he put it on and disappeared even amidst the tumult of the battle. Leaving the orcs to the fury of their confusion, he fled to the river and sought to swim across. See the islet over yonder to the west? I believe that is where the son of Elendil intended to go. Let us follow him, Beriathan, and pick up his story at its ending. Yeah, but first, you don't mind, Gandalf. You know me. The islet. That islet. Yeah.
See the islet over yonder? I believe that is where the son of Elendil intended to go.
Yeah, we'll go there, but yeah. A picture of Gandalf here in the Gladden Fields as he finishes the full story for us. Yeah, the flowers. I remember the flowers. Now this is the swim Isildur planned to take. And this one as well. The island is covered in small white flowers.
The river Anduin is mighty, and it was no less so when Isildur sought to swim across.
The effort nearly killed him, but still he managed to reach the island. But alas, while he was still in the water, the ring betrayed him. It slipped from his finger and was lost. Even when the wise pieced together this account of the events, we did not know the truth entire. We believed the ring had been borne on the current to the sea and that it left this Middle Earth. The truth and the rediscovery of the ring has now shown otherwise. Look around you, Beriathan, and imagine Isildur's despair as he rose from the water without the enemy's ring. The sound of the water rushing by fills your ears, but all else is quiet.
Bereft of the safety provided by the ring's power, Isildur did not live for much longer.
The orcs spied him standing by the water and shot him with arrows. As the tales say, he breathed his last breath here in the Gladden Fields. I believe it happened on this very island, which is why these flowers bloom here still, rather than the Gladdens that springs to life elsewhere in the fields. Simbalmine, they are called in Rohan, where they cover the grave wounds of many dead kings. And so, Isildur at last met his end, betrayed by the ring and slain by his foes before he could return to the lands he hoped to rule. But his tomb at Anuminas stands empty, for his bones remain unfound to this day.
That is the end of the tale, and it has taken many years to piece it together.
This unassuming island in the Anduin has shaped the fate of Middle-earth in its own way, has it not? How might things have transpired had Isildur not swum across the river to reach it? Agents of Sauron would have taken the ring from his body, and the Dark Lord's dominance would be all but assured. Be glad it was not so. The ring worked great evil on its course, but in the end the actions of Isildur enabled its destruction, these many years later. I have enjoyed our walk, my friend, and now I will return to the Bjorninghus and resume my study of the Black Book. I will meet you there, but before you return, I ask that you pay a visit to Hultvís, the village of the woodmen at Woodsedge. They suffered greatly during the War of the Ring, and their efforts to rebuild and return their life to normal have not yet borne fruit. You say you have already lent your aid to the woodmen? I know that, Beriathan. Do you think I would ask you to return without reason? If you have the good fortune to know a wizard, know that he is not to be ignored. Go to Hultvís and ask me no more questions. Whatever you say, Gandalf, yeah. I know better than to question you. So... Just a picture in Tolkien, if you don't mind. With a mountain in the background too. With the symbol meaning and everything. How far are we from Sharky's Low? Not that far. Do we try and get the page? Maybe we should. Oh, who's attacking me? Ah, a cutthroat. Sorry, I didn't see you there. Alright, so as I was saying, it's west of Sharky's Low. Yeah, let us try to grab this page now that we are relatively close by. We will go back to Hultvís, but not to finish the Black Book. No, actually we're gonna check some of the dailies in Hultvís, as that would be beneficial for us. Oh, for God's sake! Who's attacking now? Gotta say, these blue reflections in the water look so gorgeous. Oh, we're only missing one gloom water, and here we have the page at long last.
Now hear the lay of old Mad Ub. Drowned his brother in the washing tub, sunk his bones in the boggy pools, stole his silver, gold, and jewels.
Now that we know the identity of old Marab, you know, the brother in the washing tub, the gold and jewels he stole, it all makes sense in hindsight. After a fair amount of searching, you have completed the song. This seems to be a song the woodfolk sing to their children to ward them away from the marshes. The song itself is quite old and has been passed down verbally for many generations. Could it be that Old Mad Ab was based on a real person? Perhaps Ubil the Snatcher, a figure of whom the woodfolk still speak? The unpleasantness of which Old Mad Ab is accused in the doggerel strikes you as familiar somehow. Oh, and we also completed the Lost Lore of Rovanion. So let us check that, Lost Lore of Rovanion, and we get the Rovanion Lost Lore bookcase. So, this Lost Lore also has the particularity of being the only one who will provide you with a male and female reader that we have in here, plus the book, plus the bookcase, which is also great. We're gonna grab this bookcase and leave it in here. I'll need to go back to the vault at some point and get rid of all those books, but for the moment, we're doing good. We have 5 LOTRO points. Nothing else, right? Just the Lost Lore, female reader, male reader, yeah. So, going back to Hultvís, I think we have enough time to show you one of those dailies that we need to do for the protectors of Wilderfolk, and one that we actually, well, it's not mandatory for us to do, but will help a lot if we did.
The Vales are under our protection.
I am Ragnhild of the line of Grimbeard. I greet you as an equal, Warden, for your deeds precede you and I would welcome your help. Orcs roam among the ruins of Shatur-munzu and I need them cleared out.
Our people survived, and our hardships made us stronger.
You must be Beriathan. I have heard tell of your deeds from Chieftain Rickmar. I am outback and I need the help of hardy adventurers willing to strike without fear against the darkness. Warg was once a place of peace and safety, but now a gloom has descended upon the isle and it has become a den of evil. Few only dare go there, but that is where my task will lead.
What do you need?
Are you one who seeks to make safe the lands in which you travel? Know that you speak with another such, for that is my goal too. I am Hithril and I am from Lothlorien. Lady Galadriel has charged me with watching over this land and I will not disappoint her. I welcome your assistance. Rovanion Vales of Anduin, protectors of the Wilderfolk. Rohan. Oh, yeah. Completed the quest. Sorry. And that has unlocked the dailies. Not for Hithril, but for Ragnhild at least. Ragnhild, Shatur-munzu, and Outback Avavarg. So we're gonna do Shatur-munzu because we need these Bales of the Bjornings tokens. But we also, let me get some gold marks for modes, so that we can keep earning more gold marks. If you're looking for modes, I have just a few. I would be willing to part with them if you have any gold marks.
I have slain goblins today.
It is a worthwhile trade. I am glad you agree. This is all I have though. Perhaps I will acquire more modes soon. Alright.
The mountains belong to us, not to those foul goblins.
The warg presence in Duskenvale has grown worse of late, Beriathan, despite the banishment of Drogstas. 2 sons of the chieftain have come down from the mountains, and now they lead a pack of the beasts from within the depths of Shatur-munzu. These wargs threaten safe passage of the only road south, and we must deal with them. Will you help me with these tasks? New quest protecting the Bjornings? Okay.
I have slain goblins today. Can you say the same?
Many animals have gone missing since the warg Kazakh and Dulkoth came down from the mountains. Many are lost to the ferocity of the wargs, their sharp teeth, and their biting jaws, but several others are caged? I am puzzled, Beriathan. Who built these cages? Do the wargs work with some allies, cage builders, that work in tandem with them to save their prey for later? These are patient works indeed, if that be so, and if not, does that mean they build the cages themselves? And how could this be done? It matters not, though the question bothers me tremendously. I will put it from my mind and ask that you destroy the cages and save the captive animals, no matter who built the cages that confine them. But I cannot banish the thought of the works pulling twine with their teeth and assembling wooden poles and boards for the cage walls, and it quite upsets me. It amuses me, but okay.
The Vales are under our protection.
The old dwarf ruins of Shatur-munzu have been quiet for years and years, but no longer. Orcs dwell there now, and they pose a very real threat to those traveling on the road and to those who herd sheep in Duskenvale. Make war upon the orcs and make this land safe from them once again.
The Vales are under our protection.
This vile chieftain of the orcs, Roxtas, may be banished, but his kin remain and they are no less a threat than he was. Kazak and Dulcot were born of the same litter, and now they seek to avenge their sire. They have come down from the mountains and will stop at nothing less than to feast upon any of Duskenvale's folk that might smile at the banishment of Roxtas. Defeat these two brother orcs and quickly, for their ranging is swift and their anger deep.
I have slain goblins today. Can you say the same?
There is something very peculiar about the orcs of Duskenvale, Beriathan. They feed upon whatever animals they can seize in their powerful jaws, but it seems that sometimes they save their prey for later. They drag their victims back to their dens, and when their appetite returns, their meal is ready and waiting to be devoured. Many sheep once grazed in Duskenvale, cared for and tended to by my kin, but the orcs have made this dangerous task. If you can rescue sheep from the orcs, I would greatly appreciate it. Let us show these orcs that we mean to protect our animals. I think that is all? Yeah, that is all. Do not underestimate the orcs that lurk now within Shatur-munzu. They are cunning and dangerous foes. Into the Gladden Radagast. We'll need to do that one later. Or well, no. Let us accept it, but we'll check that one later. On one hand, we are short pressed for time now. On the other hand, this is unrelated to what we are currently doing. Okay. Alright, so gotta be quick about this. Destroying the cages, freeing the ship, fighting all these guys. It's such a funny sound. So why are we doing this? You might remember we need some Bjorning tokens in order to get the master at the Bjorning Hus, and this is the only way of getting those tokens. We need 20 of them. I'm not sure if we can get enough of them with just one day of these dailies. Normally you shouldn't, you are not able to do that, but since we have the Gundavad toolkit that increases our token gain, we might be able to do that. I'm not sure. I haven't done the math. We'll find out in just a moment. If not, well, we'll need to do this some other day. Up you go. Run, be free. Don't you worry, girl. If you're under my protection here, we will be okay. But no, you cannot eat the ship. Indeed, protectors of the Wilderfolk. We need to complete 20 of those quests, which is not hard to do. Oops. Jump, please. Sorry. Okay, so we completed Shatur-munzu the pack, defeating the Wranglers and the Wargs. We also got a new deed. Defenders of the Wilderfolk. Okay. We just need to complete all those quests from the dailies. Protecting the Bjornings, yeah. A message from Rosgoville. Yeah, and the Gladdenmere, yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, here we have the warg bosses. Ah, there are not signatures. Okay. Okay. There we go. Those two. Now we only need to complete the cages on the ship.
You cannot defeat me!
However, it seems a little correction is in order. Because those are the two bosses of this instance. They were not in the throne room, as I had told you before. But in the throne room we can still find some more sheep and cages, so it's still worth a visit. Come on! One more cage, one more ship. Hopefully both of them are there on the throne room. Yeah, the ship and the cage. Okay, and finally the cage. Perfect. With this we can leave the instance. Took about what? Less than 10 minutes. It's a really fast thing to do. How many tokens did we get though? Let me check that.
The Mjolnings once made safe the Riverlands. We will again.
You have taught a lesson to the wargs, and they may decide to stay away from Shatur-munzu and from our ship from now on. Thank you for your efforts on behalf of the good folk of the Vales of Anduin. Yeah, I don't think we have enough of those. Let me check.
The mountains belong
14
to
out
us.
of 20.
To those foul goblins.
Yeah, we need another day of this to be able to barter for them. And, well, might as well do the Outback Dailies. Not today, though. We have already done plenty of things today, so we'll be back. We'll be back with these guys. And the Black Book of Mordor as well, and Radagast and everything. So for the time being, this has been all on today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.